My name is Mary Jensen, and I dance at the St. Charles, Illinois Astaire studio.
That's awesome. So how long have you been a student?
2 years.
2 years.
2 years ago this month. Yes.
How exciting is
yes,
that?
It's
what
great.
are you doing for the anniversary?
I don't know. We'll have to come up with something.
Yeah, you should do a performance.
There you go.
That always fixes everything. So obviously I brought you here for an interview because I know that breast cancer is it's a terrible disease that I have personal experience with that with my sister because she went through 26 weeks of chemo. She had a very aggressive disease, and luckily, and knock on wood, she has gone past it. And I remember taking her to dance class and how much it meant to her. And how staying active was a huge plus for her, and staying positive and, optimistic. And I feel like that was a big part of it. Yeah. I just wanted to know your journey and how dancing has affected that.
Sure. So I was diagnosed a year ago, October. So kind of when everywhere you looked, you saw pink. That's when I got my diagnosis. And I went through multiple biopsies and eventually had surgery. Got clear margins, which was enormous blessing. So then I followed up with radiation therapy. But through all of that, my husband and I, we kept dancing. And I can't even begin to tell you how important that was, because even though I was tired coming home from work and then doing radiation, and we'd have a light dinner, and it's like, no, we're going to go. We're going to go to the studio. What's the group class tonight? What is it? I don't really care. We're going. We're just going to have a good time. And we kept up with our weekly lessons, and the studio was very accommodating to certain things that I couldn't do. And it got me out of my head, is basically what it did. It got me out of my head of being, oh, I have breast cancer. Oh, poor me. I mean, yes, of course I took it seriously, but it was a wonderful distraction. It was a wonderful distraction, and it made me feel healthy at a time where I knew this was not a really good thing that was happening to me. But in my head, it made me feel healthy. So between the group classes and our private lessons, we just kept going. We just kept going through it all. And we're still dancing. We're still dancing. We competed in June for the first time, and we absolutely loved it. I highly recommend competing. It just takes you to the next level. You have so much fun. You talk to the other competitors. I don't even like to say competitors. They're friends that you just dance with, and you're all supporting each other, and it just takes you to that next level. So we enjoy it immensely, immensely.
A lot of times people don't realize how it affects the family around you. And can you talk a little bit about the support that you receive from your family in life and through dancing? Sure.
Well, my husband gave me, for my birthday 2 years ago, these dance lessons.
Oh, wow.
5 lessons. Because he knew how much I loved Dancing with the Stars. So anyway, so we started going, and, we had the little training wheels on, to take us around doing the little box step at the beginning. And then we just kept going because we enjoyed it so much, because it was a great support system. And like I said, through the journey, I remember when I got the phone call from the oncologist, and then I called my husband and I said, buckle in. We don't know where this is going to go. But in the background, it was the same. We just kept going with the dance. It was sort of our way to just let everything be normal and just go dance and just take our minds off of it. It was fantastic.
Tell me what dancing does for you. When you started dancing like 2 years ago, what did you discover that dancing gave you that you didn't have before?
I think I've always been a confident person, like in my work and in the things that I have to do in life, but I never danced in my life. Never in my life. I always appreciated it. I loved watching it, and I knew how hard it was. I mean, I was not naive to think that looks, oh, that's easy, you could learn that really quickly. I knew how hard it was. And so I would say the confidence to do something that I've never done before, and to get a little better and a little better and a little better, and then, oh yeah, that was really frustrating. It took me a long time, but then I finally got it. And then dancing with my husband is we've just had so much fun. I mean, we've really enjoyed it. Learning it together at the same time, and I might struggle with this, he might struggle with this, but we figure it out. And,
it's almost like a little marriage counseling too.
Well, it's great quality time. Yeah. It's great quality time with your spouse. That it's the two of you, and you're working as a team. Yeah. You're working as a team. I do I do try and follow the lead. I sometimes am guilty.
Do you
of
lead sometimes?
I do. Shh, don't tell
It's
anybody.
okay. I like women that lead anyway. So in my book, you would never do anything wrong. When you put on the dress at the competition for the first time, how did that make you
Oh, it
feel?
was great. But the whole, you just feel like you're just glammed up to the max with hair and makeup and the long dress for the smooth dances and then kind of short and sassy for the rhythm. I loved it. I loved it. And you kind of go in your head and you're playing a part. You're playing a part. And you just have to have fun with it. You just have to have fun with it.
That's so great.
Yeah.
When you were in your lessons, and there was times probably that was a little bit difficult.
Yes,
when you're going through cancer and through treatments.
Sure.
What kept you going?
Well, I just knew it was temporary. I kept telling myself it was temporary. There were certain times after I had to have a couple of different biopsies, and then of course with my surgery, so I had some range of motion issues. But it's like, okay, this is temporary. We can alter it for the time being. We can just skip certain things, and then we'll get back to it. So it worked beautifully.
This is a tough question.
Yeah.
Take dancing out of it. If you took dancing out of it, how difficult would it have been to go through that?
I think it would have been really difficult. It was my happy place. It really was. I have to say, it made us both happy. Both my husband and I made us happy to go there. And I think if we didn't have that outlet, it would have been a lot more difficult for me. A lot more difficult. And the support from the studio, everybody at the studio, all the people that we've met at the St. Charles Fred Astaire, they're our close friends now. And the staff, oh my gosh, Ray, Jackie, Eugene, Ruby, fabulous people. Just all fabulous. I love them all.
What would you say to people that are going through the terrible disease right now?
Yeah. In fact, somebody just recently asked me that same question, and I said this as an answer, and I don't mean it to be flippant in any way, but take the nap. If you're tired, take the nap. I found that I was really tired, and I have a lot of energy normally, but I found through the course of treatment and just being diagnosed and recovering from surgery, I was tired, and I was really tired through radiation. So take the nap. It's okay. I'm good at giving that advice. Maybe I wasn't so good at receiving it, but to sleep, to rest, self-care is so important.
Well, that's interesting you say that, because I had the same conversation with my sister, and she said it's hard to take the nap because you feel like you're missing out.
Sure.
You want to live every moment. And she said that when I brought her to the studio, it gave her something to look forward to, that regardless how tired that she was, she got the energy together to go to the dance studio.
Right. Because once you're there, it does energize you, and you do what you can. There was a time where we took our private lesson, and then there was a group lesson afterwards. We're like, okay, let's stay. Well, okay, I made it through half of it, and I went and sat down on the couch. Who cares?
Exactly.
You do what you can on the given day that you're there, and you just do what you can. You do what you can.
When you're going through treatments, what was the most difficult part?
For me, for the radiation, was the radiation burn on my skin. So it was very uncomfortable. They have all kinds of different treatments and things that you can use to help with that. But that and the fatigue that I experienced from that. It's different than like take a 20-minute cat nap, get up, you feel energized. It's that fatigue where you feel like you're getting the flu tired, and you just feel like no amount of napping is, you try to, because you should rest to heal, but it still didn't, kind of lift you up. But that waned, as soon as maybe about 4 to 6 weeks after radiation, I could see the turnaround. So
now, what is your current status in that?
So I'll be 10 years on oral daily chemo medication, and next month I have all my follow-ups, and hoping to hear after those mammograms are done that I'm NED, no evidence of disease. So
yes,
right now
crossed.
we wait until next month and we go for the checkups. But I'm feeling good. I just keep dancing.
That's right. And what are you hoping for your dancing?
Well, we just completed learning an open swing.
Oh.
So currently we have an open Roomba, an open foxtrot, foxtrot, and we just completed our open swing. So at a studio party next month, we'll do that on a Friday night. So that's always good fun when everybody does a little mini performance at the studio of what they've been working on. It kind of makes you practice a little bit more because you know you're going to be performing it in front of friends. But so yeah, we've loved learning that dance. That's been a lot of fun for us.
What do you say to people that are afraid to start dancing?
Oh, don't be afraid. Just do it. Just do it. Yeah. You'll be around people who are going to support you. I think everybody's afraid of making mistakes, and you will. Trust me, you will. You will make mistakes learning how to dance or just trying to improve your dance. But I think I have a greater appreciation now of music overall. We'll be out and we'll hear a song. And it's like, yeah, I could cha-cha to that. You start hearing things a whole lot differently. So
That's great.
I say just give it a try. Everybody can do it. Everybody can dance. It just depends on how far you want to take it.
So if I'm going to say Fred Astaire Dance Studios, your response is?
Fantastic.
That's great.
Fantastic. Yeah, we love it.
Thank you so much
No,
for
thank
sharing
you,
your
Tony.
story.
Yeah, and blessings to your
congratulations.
sister. Blessings to your sister,
yes,
too.
She's cancer-free right now, so we're
excellent.
hoping it stays that
Yeah,
way. And
that's great.
same to you. Thank you for
so
sharing
much.
your story.
Thank you.
We really appreciate it.
Thank you.